Oh, look at you and your fluffy little ears. I wonder what you're dreaming about. Probably just dreaming about chasing cats. Crufts, the show that dogs dream about. Thursday at 8 on BBC Two.
Castaway starts Friday at 9 on BBC One.
Sean's landed his very own show. Join the good, the bad, and the woolly. Sean the Sheep, weekdays at 3:45 on CBBC One.
We've reached the quarterfinals now on 2W. It's University Challenge.
University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Out of 200 teams which applied to take part, now as we begin the quarter-final stage, only the best 8 remain. They are Edinburgh, Durham, York, Aberystwyth, Warwick, University College London, and tonight's 2, Wadham College Oxford, the only Oxbridge institution to make it this far, and the reigning champions Manchester. Now, they lost their first-round match against Merton College Oxford, but survived by the rule which allows the 4 highest-scoring losing teams to fight it out in the playoffs. They beat the University of Bristol and then had a convincing win over the University of Reading with a score of 210 points. Let's meet them now for the 4th time.
Hi, I'm Tim Hawkins from Reading in Berkshire, and I'm reading music.
Hello, my name's Adam Clark. I'm from Tunbridge Wells in Kent, and I'm reading ancient history.
And their captain.
My name's Kieran Lavin. I'm from Stonehouse near Stroud in Gloucestershire, and I study English and philosophy.
Hi, I'm David Elliott from Grantham in Lincolnshire, and I'm reading mathematics and physics.
Now, Wadham College Oxford achieved the highest score in round 1 with 295 points, albeit against a very ropey team from Robinson College, Cambridge, who only scraped 40. They went on to beat Royal Holloway in round 2 and demonstrated the breadth of the education they're receiving with their familiarity with Manchester United, Champagne Widows and French Ladies of Easy Virtue. Let's meet them again.
Hello, I'm Oliver Clifford Mobley from Winchester, and I'm reading chemistry.
Hello, I'm Laura Moyes from West Morley in Kent, and I'm reading history and French.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Bryn Harris. I'm from Cardiff, and I'm doing a DPhil in classics.
Hi, I'm Matthew Bladen from Dartford in Kent, and I'm reading a DPhil in ancient history.
OK, you all know the rules. 10 points for starters, 15 for bonuses. Starter questions are solo efforts, bonuses are team efforts, 5-point penalties for incorrect interruptions to starter questions. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. The scene of one of Margaret Thatcher's strongest speeches against closer European integration. Which
Manchester Hawken.
Bruges.
Bruges is correct, yes. You get the first set of bonuses, Manchester. They're on writers in the Bastille. Firstly, for 5, charged with espionage and imprisoned in 1690, which English architect and dramatist used his time in the Bastille to write the Restoration comedy The Relapse, or Virtue in Danger?
Is it Inigo Jones or Sheridan, an architect as well?
Sheridan's Irish.
Try Inigo Jones.
Indigo Jones?
No, it was Sir John Vanbrugh. Secondly, which French writer of idiosyncratic philosophy was imprisoned at Vincennes from 1777 and in the Bastille from 1784, where he completed, among other works, an early draft of the novel Justine?
Voltaire?
No, it's the Marquis de Sade. And finally, which French writer was imprisoned in the Bastille for a year in 1717 for having mocked in print the Duc d'Orléans, regent for the young Louis XV, around which time he adopted the pen name by which he became known?
Voltaire.
That was Voltaire. 10 points for this starter question. What 5-letter word follows blue in the name of a group of avant-garde artists from 1911? Pale.
Manchester Hawken.
Ryder.
Ryder is right, yes. Your bonuses are on changed football strips, Manchester. During the 1960s, by changing Leeds United's kit from a blue and gold strip, Don Revie was seeking to imitate the all-white shirts of which famous European club?
Real Madrid.
Correct. When changing their strip in the early 1900s to copy Notts County's black and white stripes, what colour shirt did Juventus abandon?
Oh, what was it for? I don't know. Was it like pink or something? I'm not sure. Pink.
Pink is right. Which original members of the Football League changed colours several times until in 1910, settling on the claret and blue strips that give them their nickname?
It could be Burnley. Burnley.
Burnley is right. 10 points for this starter question. The full titles of the Royal Army Nursing Corps and the Royal Naval Nursing Service both include the name of which royal figure? The wife of King Edward VII, who is present...
Manchester Hawken.
Alexandra.
Correct, Queen Alexandra. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on a political figure, Prime Minister from 1902 to 1905, who gave his name to a declaration of 1917 that's had far-reaching consequences on Western Asia.
Balfour.
Arthur Balfour's right. What 3-word colloquial expression is thought to allude to offices of state granted to Balfour by his mother's brother, Robert Cecil, Marquess of Salisbury?
3-word term. No, we don't know.
That was Bob's your uncle. And finally, which institution was, according to Lloyd George, not the watchdog of the Constitution, but Mr. Balfour's poodle?
The House of Lords.
It was the House of Lords. 10 points for this. A pituitary adenoma secreting a growth hormone and leading to a bitemporal hemianopsia is the medical condition suggested by some to account for the physical appearance and vulnerability of which biblical character in the first book of Samuel?
Manchester Hawken.
Goliath.
Correct. Manchester, your bonuses are on probability distributions in statistics. If a random variable x is given and its distribution admits a probability density function f of x, then which statistical measure is given by the integral over the real line of x times f of x? Come on.
No, we don't know.
That's mean. Which function is obtained by integrating the probability density function from minus infinity to x?
That's the cumulative probability.
Cumulative probability?
No, it's the cumulative distribution function. Finally, which distribution admits a probability density function f of x equals 1 over square root of 2 pi times e to the power of minus x squared divided by 2?
Could you repeat the question, please?
No!
Gaussian. Yeah. Gaussian?
That's normal distribution. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a still from a film. For 10 points, I simply want you to name the film.
Wadham Harris.
Jerry Maguire.
No, anyone to buzz from Manchester? No idea? It's a 2000 version of Hamlet, so picture bonuses in a moment or two. Another starter question. What name is shared by a Provençal and a Chilean poet, awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1904 and 1945 respectively, and a dry, cold, northerly wind that affects the Rhone Valley, particularly south of Valence?
Manchester Hawken.
Mistral.
Mistral is right. You then, Manchester, get the picture bonuses following on from that version of Hamlet. Your picture bonuses, 3 more stills from film versions of that play. In each case, I want you to tell me the name of the actress playing Ophelia. Firstly, for 5 points.
What's her name? Is that Gene Simmons?
Could be, yeah.
Gene Simmons?
It is Gene Simmons. Secondly, this actress.
Looks like Princess Leia, but it's not.
Any ideas who it is?
No, not really.
It's not Carrie Fisher, is it?
No, we don't know who that is.
That's Marianne Faithfull. And finally...
That's Winslet.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
That is Kate Winslet. 10 points for this starter question. One song to the tune of another. New definitions and...
Manchester Hawken.
I'm sorry, I haven't a clue.
Well done. 3 questions on language in the 1950s. A concept attributed to Alan Ross in 1954, U and non-U language for upper-class and non-upper-class people, was popularised by which author, also noted for love in a cold climate?
Oh, that's D.H. Lawrence, isn't it? Surely. I think it is.
D.H. Lawrence.
No, it's Nancy Mitford. How to Get On in Society, which begins with the line, "Phone for the fish knives, Norman," was a contribution to the U and non-U debate by which poet?
50s, 60s. Cecil Day-Lewis.
Yeah, go try it.
Cecil Day-Lewis.
No, it was Sir John Betjeman. According to Nancy Mitford in Noblesse Oblige, as napkin is the U word for serviette, what is the 2-word upper-class term for a mirror?
Looking glass.
Looking glass.
Looking glass is right. Plenty of time still for you to get going, Wadham. 10 points for this. The original departure point for the Mayflower Pilgrims in 1620.
Manchester Hawken.
Plymouth.
No, you lose 5 points. For Henry V in 1415 and for the RMS Titanic in 1912, which port lies between the mouths of the Test and Itchen rivers?
Wadham Clifford Mobley.
Southampton.
Southampton is correct. Your bonuses, Wadham, are on Australian cities, now the second largest city in New South Wales. Which settlement was given its present name in 1804 after a coal port in northern England?
Any idea? Newcastle, it could be. That's all I can think of. Newcastle? Newcastle.
Correct. Which city in northern Tasmania shares its name with that of a borough of North Cornwall close to the River Tamar?
Is it Port Arthur? That's the only place I can think of. Yeah? Port Arthur.
No, it's Launceston, or Launceston as it's called there. Cities in the Swan River in Western Australia and the River Tay in Scotland share what name?
It's got to be Perth, isn't it? Perth.
Perth is right. 10 points for this. What surname was shared by the 19th century biologist Thomas Henry and his grandsons?
Wadham Harris.
Huxley.
Huxley is right. You hear your bonuses. They're on the Greek alphabet, Wadham. Which lowercase Greek letter has 2 different forms, one of which is used only when it is the final letter in a word?
Sigma. Sigma.
Correct. The uppercase of the Greek letter eta is identical to which capital letter in the Latin alphabet?
H.
Correct. Which letter of the Greek alphabet is often used as a collective term for so-called paranormal phenomena?
Any idea? Ollie? Omega or... Oh, Psi. It's Psi. Psi.
Correct. 10 points for this. In psychiatry, what term denotes any of various disorders characterized by immediate response to a desire without restraint? For example, pathological gambling, pyromania, and...
Wadham Harris.
Compulsive?
No, you lose 5 points. And kleptomania? Buzz, one of you, Manchester.
Manchester Clark.
Obsessive?
No, it's an impulse control disorder. 10 points for this. Which romantic poet is the subject of biographies by Walter Jackson Bate, Robert Gittings, and Andrew Motion?
Wadham Harris.
Coleridge.
No, anyone to buzz from Manchester?
Manchester Hawken.
Keats.
Keats is correct. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on weather, art and poetry. Firstly, for 5, of what weather phenomenon did John Ruskin say of himself, "I bottled them as carefully as my father, who was a wine merchant, had bottled sherries"?
Clouds?
Correct. Clouds now and again give a soul some respite from moon gazing. Behold. These lines by the Japanese poet Basho are an example of what verse form?
Oh, no, it's not, is it?
Yeah, haiku.
Correct. Nor law, nor duty bade we fight, nor public men, nor cheering crowds, a lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds. Whose words are these in a poem by Yeats?
Ivor Booth.
No, it's an Irish airman foresees his death. 10 points for this. Who effectively became ruler of England in 1658, but clashed with Parliament?
Manchester Hawken.
Richard Cromwell.
Correct. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on flags. What object appears on the flags of Geneva, Gibraltar and the Vatican City?
Cross, yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, keys.
Yes, key or keys is correct. Aside from their white background, what links the flag of Cyprus and the unification flag used when North and South Korea participate together in certain sporting events?
Does it have the map of the country? Flag of Cyprus. Has the map of the country on
It's
it?
the outline of the country, yes. The flags of Berlin, Madrid, Bern and California all carry an image of which animal?
The bear.
Bear is correct. With the scores on 40 and 145, we're going to take a music round. For your music starter, you're going to hear an extract from a piece of traditional music. 10 points if you can give me its title.
Wadham Bladen.
Scotland the Brave.
Well done. Why you waited so long? Your bonuses are 3 more pieces of music associated with traditional Scottish songs. In each case, I want you to tell me the precise name by which each piece of music is known. Here's the first for 5 points.
No, it's not. It's you take the high road, isn't it? It is. You take the high road and I'll take the low road. And the bonny one wants the whole low. Yeah. But what's the proper? You take the high road. Yeah. Okay. You take the high road.
That is the right song, but the title, which is what I was looking for, is Loch Lomond or the Bonny Bonny Banks of Loch Lomond. Secondly.
Oh, it's whiskey in the jar. Whiskey in the jar?
No, that's called Scots Wahey. And finally...
Sky Boat Song. That's the Sky Boat Song.
It is, right. 10 points for this starter question. In which country did Shinzo Abe replace Junichiro...
Manchester 11.
Japan.
Correct. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on popular culture. Which trade slogan for an American brand of cereal extolling its stamina-giving qualities was used by Kurt Vonnegut for the title of a 1973 novel?
No, 'cause that's...
Come on.
We don't know.
It's Breakfast of Champions. Secondly, for 5, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Truman Capote's novella of 1958, was adapted for the cinema with a screenplay by which writer, also noted for the Marilyn Monroe films The 7-Year Itch and Bus Stop, and the 1962 thriller The Manchurian Candidate?
No, we don't know.
That was George Axelrod. And finally, for 5 points, which British rock group had a hit with Breakfast in America in 1979, which they followed with the logical song and Take the Long Way Home?
Supertramp.
Supertramp is right. 10 points for this. In use from the mid-17th century, which firearm took its name from a Dutch term meaning
Manchester Hawken.
Howitzer.
No, you lose 5 points, meaning thunderbox, and had a flared muzzle.
Wadham Harris.
Blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss is correct. Your bonuses, Wadham, are on stage works. Not performed in public in the UK until 1931, which play by Oscar Wilde ends with a female title character being crushed to death by Salome is correct. Which German composer used Wilde's Salome as the basis for the libretto of an opera of 1905?
Early German. Any guess? Who? Rachmaninoff.
No, it's Richard Strauss. The novelist Anthony Hope was moved to exclaim, "Oh, for an hour of Herod," at the first performance in 1904 of which play?
Something to do with loads of children, but I can't remember what.
Herod. Peter Pan, possibly? Yes. Yeah, Peter Pan. Peter Pan.
Bingo, well done. 10 points for this. 5 is classical, 10 is Romanesque, 20 is Gothic, 50 is Renaissance, and 100 is Baroque in the context of which currency?
Wadham Harris.
The euro.
Yep. Your bonuses are on enzymes, Wadham. Trypsin, a major protein enzyme used for the digestion of food, is initially secreted as trypsinogen by which gland of the body?
Bile duct or pancreas? Pancreas? Yeah. Pancreas, yeah. Oh, we'll say pancreas.
Correct. Which enzyme found especially in the stomach of young children serves to coagulate milk protein?
something.
Lactase.
Oh, lipase or something. No, lactase. Okay.
Try lactase.
Okay, so lactase.
No, it's renin. Widely distributed in plants and present also in the liver and in gastric and pancreatic juices. Which enzyme breaks down fats to the constituent fatty acids and glycerol?
It's lipase. Lipase.
Correct. 10 points for this. What institution was established by the United Nations in 2002 at The Hague as a new tribunal to prosecute and punish...
Wadham Clifford Mobley.
International Criminal Court.
Correct. Your bonuses, Wadham, are on carpets. What name first given to the hand-knotted carpets produced at Thomas Whitty's factory in Devon from the 1750s is now a generic term for certain thick-piled, patterned, machine-made carpets?
Axminster.
Correct. Which town about 20 miles southwest of Birmingham became established in the late 18th century as the centre of the British carpet industry?
What's that? Gloucester? No, that's not. Wolverhampton?
Wolverhampton's north of Birmingham.
Is it?
Yeah.
So Bromwich. Bromwich.
No, it's Kidderminster. Which town in Wiltshire became a centre for carpet production with the arrival in 1741 of French weavers who passed their skills on to local workers?
Devizes? Where? Salisbury? Salisbury? Say Salisbury.
No, it's Wilton. 10 points for this. Established in 1958, which annual music award recognises 108 categories within 32 fields, including jazz, rap...
Manchester 11.
The Grammys.
Grammys is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on literature. Which single word is the title of a 1902 novella by Joseph Conrad, of the third part of Tolstoy's account of his early years, and of a 1915 collection of verse by Isaac Rosenberg?
Nostromo?
No, it's Youth. Which influential Russian writer and engineer was the author of Raw Youth in 1875, also known as The Adolescent?
Raw Youth.
Come on.
What was the year, sorry?
1875.
1875. Dostoevsky.
Correct. Which female author wrote the 1978 comic novel Young Adolf about Hitler's visit to his half-brother in Liverpool in 1912? Let's have an answer.
We don't know.
That's Beryl Baby. Right, we're going to take our second picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a diagram of a motor neuron. For 10 points, I want the scientific name of the area indicated by the arrow.
Wadham Harris.
The rod.
Anyone want to buzz from Manchester? I'll tell you.
Manchester 11.
The nerve.
No, it's the axon. Picture bonuses in a moment or two. 10 points for this starter question. Having competed in the 200 metres at the Tokyo Olympics in 1964, which former track athlete held the British 100 metres record from 1967 to 74?
Manchester Elliott.
Min Campbell is correct. You get the picture bonuses, more areas of a neuron for you to identify. 5 points for each you can name. Firstly, the area indicated by the arrow.
Do we think it's the membrane?
Yeah, try it.
The membrane.
No, that's the myelin sheath. Secondly, for 5.
Yeah, I know there's a bit called
The synapse.
No, that's dendrite. And finally, the area indicated by this arrow.
I'm going to go for synapse.
The
synapse.
That's the soma. 5 minutes to go, 10 points for this. The influence of which Roman comic dramatist, born around 254 BC, has been traced in numerous later works, including Shakespeare's The Comedy of Errors.
Wadham Harris.
Plautus.
Plautus is right. Your bonuses are on names. After the peer who instigated it, what name was given to the anti-Catholic agitation of 1780, also known as the No Popery riots?
I don't know. Jones or Denning? I don't know. Was it?
No, I don't know.
I'm sorry, we don't know.
They were the Gordon riots after Lord George Gordon. Yeah. One of Lytton Strachey's eminent Victorians, Charles George Gordon, died in 1885 while defending which besieged city against Sudanese rebels? Correct. Born in 1637, the Scottish soldier Patrick Gordon rose to the rank of general under which Russian Tsar, to whom he was chief military councillor?
60s in the 17th century, late 17th century. It could be Alexander I. It's probably a good guess. Yeah? Alexander I.
No, it was Peter the Great. 10 points for this. Aalborg, Aarhus and Odense.
Manchester 11.
They're all towns in Denmark.
Yes, they are. Your bonuses, Manchester, are on disinfectants. Indicating a derivative of benzene, what name is given to C6H5OH, used in a diluted form as a disinfectant?
It's phenol.
Phenol?
Phenol.
Correct. Any of the three isomers of methylated phenol have which name derived from the distillate of coal tar with a name meaning flesh preserver?
Flesh preserver. Carno. Flesh.
Come on. Let's have it. I need an answer.
We don't know.
It's Cresol. Which trade name is given to the disinfectant comprising Cresol and soap?
Trade name.
Yeah, try it.
Dettol?
No, it's Lysol. 3 minutes to go, 10 points for this. The terms acrylect and basilect.
Wadham Harris.
Pigeon languages.
Yeah, I'll accept that. I was looking, all I wanted was language, but you've got it, yeah. Right, 15 points for these bonuses. They're on regents. Which King of England had ruled as regent from 1811 until his coronation in 1821?
William IV.
George IV.
As George IV. Yeah, George IV.
Correct. In the 4th century BC, General Antipater was twice regent of which kingdom for kings including the feeble-minded Philip III and the infant Alexander IV?
Macedon and Macedonia.
Macedonia is right. Born of an influential Florentine family, which queen ruled as regent of France from 1560 to 1574 after the death of her husband Henry II?
Borgia, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not. It's Catherine de Medici.
Catherine de Medici.
Correct. 10 points for this start question. In computing, Stuffit and WinZip are both programs to do what?
Manchester Elliott.
Compress files.
Compress files and archiving, yes. Your bonuses are on writer's initials, Manchester. What were the first three names of J.R.R.? You don't need to buzz, it's Manchester's bonus. What were the first three names of J.R.R. Tolkien?
John Ronald Roos?
Yep.
John Ronald Roos.
No, it was John Ronald Rariewell. What was the full name of the American writer who used the pseudonym H.D.? She was a close associate of Ezra Pound and was the author of a novel about her Bloomsbury years entitled Bid Me to Live.
Virginia Woolf?
No, it's Hilda Doolittle. Which first name initials are shared by the authors of the novel The Singapore Grip and The Empire of the Sun? Come on, let's have it.
JG.
JG is correct, yes. Right, 10 points for this. In which international classification system does 780 mean music, 150...
Manchester Elliott.
Is that the Dewey Decimal System?
It is the Dewey Decimal System, yes. Your bonuses are on chemical elements named after places, named by its French discoverer in honour of the city of Paris. Element number 71 is known as what?
Lutetium, I'd say, because that's Latin.
Lutetium?
Yeah, try.
Lutetium?
Correct. The elements erbium, terbium and ytterbium are all named after the village of Ytterby in which country?
Sweden.
Sweden is right. Which metallic element gets its name from the island of Cyprus?
Minoan? Is that Minoan?
No, that's some great.
Come on.
Nicosium, yeah. It could be.
Nicosium?
No, it's copper. 10 points for this. For a flying object to attain hypersonic speeds, what Mach number must be achieved?
Wadham Clifford Mobley.
5.
5 is correct. Here are your bonuses. They're on a Shakespeare play. Set in a Seattle high school, the 1999 film 10 Things I Hate About You is a reworking of which Shakespeare play?
Taming of the Shrew.
Correct. In The Taming of the Shrew, which Italian city is the home of sisters Caterina and Bianca?
Oh, man, it's Padua. No, it's not. I know this.
Come on.
No, it's Padua.
It is Padua.
Yeah.
Which composer turned The Taming of the Shrew into the 1940s musical Kiss Me Kate?
Cole Porter.
Cole Porter's right. 10 points for this. Which fairground attraction takes its name from its inventor, a Pittsburgh...
Wadham Harris.
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel is...
That was quick.
June was key time on farm.